This is a touching tale of everlasting love between a husband and wife who are dealing with an extremely difficult situation in their lives. The devotion this couple has for one another will astound you, and the heartbreaking conclusion will leave you in tears. This is a true story that happened in California in 2014. Husband and wife duo Jeff and Mackenzie Hall were experiencing the greatest years of their lives together. They had just celebrated their 13th wedding anniversary and were enjoying life with their 3 lovely children. For them, life was beautiful. Their love was unbreakable, but as they say, life is unpredictable. And even though they were happy, their happiness only lasted for a few days, because after some time, Jeffrey woke up one morning and felt unwell. He didn't pay much attention to it because he had a lot to do that day. But as the day went on, he started feeling worse and worse. So he went to the hospital, where doctors ran several tests and gave him a diagnosis he never expected. Jeffrey had stage 4 cancer, and there was only a 3% chance of survival. His wife and children were devastated when they heard this news. They all cried and prayed that everything would be okay, but deep down inside, they knew that this was probably the end. However, even in the face of death, the Halls remained strong. Jeffrey knew that he wouldn't survive, but he didn't want his wife and children to be sad. He wanted them to be happy and move on with their lives. So he told them that he loved them very much and asked them to take care of each other. Then he went to sleep so that doctors could operate on him. While he was asleep, Mackenzie Hall couldn't stop crying. She knew that she might never see her husband again, so she went to his side and caressed his cheek. "I love you," she whispered, "and I will never forget you." After that, she left the room so she could compose herself. When she came back, though, she saw that Jeffrey had already woken up. He was sitting on the bed, smiling at her. "How are you feeling?" she asked with a shaky voice. "Much better now that you're here," he replied. "Don't cry, my love. I'm not going anywhere." Mackenzie Hall hugged her husband tightly. She didn't want to let go of him, but she knew that she had to. "Take care of our children," Jeffrey said. "They need you more than ever right now." Mackenzie nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I promise I will," she said. After that, Jeffrey was taken to the operating room where doctors operated on him for several hours. Mackenzie Hall waited anxiously in the other room, praying that her husband would pull through. But deep down, she knew that this was probably the end. When doctors finally came out of the operating room, Mackenzie asked them, "Is he okay? Can I see him?" But before they could answer, another doctor approached Mackenzie and told her that her husband had passed away. "I'm sorry," he said. "We tried our best, but there was nothing we could do. He was a fighter, though. He fought until the very end." Mackenzie broke down in tears. She fell to her knees and cried out, "No, no, no!" She didn't want to believe that her husband was gone. She still felt his presence beside her, and she could hear his voice whispering sweet nothings in her ear. However, she knew that this was the reality. Jeffrey was gone. In the following days, Mackenzie Hall threw herself into taking care of her children. She knew that this was what Jeffrey would have wanted her to do, so she didn't have time to grieve over his loss. But deep down inside, she was dying. Of sorrow, she missed her husband so much. She missed his hugs, his kisses, his laughter, everything about him. As time went by, Mackenzie started feeling like her life was meaningless without Jeffrey. She didn't know what to do or where to go. She felt like she was drowning in a sea of sadness, and there was no one to save her. One night, while Mackenzie was lying in bed trying to sleep, she heard Jeffrey's voice. It sounded faint, like it was coming from far away, but she could hear it loud and clear. "Mackenzie, I need your help," he said. "Please, come and save me." Mackenzie sat up in bed. She could have sworn she heard Jeffrey's voice, but when she turned on the lights and looked around the room, she saw that she was alone. As the days went by, Mackenzie started hearing Jeffrey's voice more and more often. Now that she knew she could talk to Jeffrey, Mackenzie didn't feel so bad about his death. She still missed him terribly, but she was grateful that they could still be together in a way. Every night before going to bed, Mackenzie would ask Jeffrey for advice on how to deal with her problems or just chat about their old times together. She cherished these moments because they made her feel like Jeffrey was still with her. Months went by, and Mackenzie Hall became a well-known figure in the community. People from all over the country contacted her because they wanted to talk to their loved ones who had passed away. Mackenzie didn't charge people for this service, but many people offered to pay her anyway. She turned down the money, though, saying that she didn't do this for the money. She did it because she wanted to help people. Jeffrey was proud of his wife for using her gift to help others. He knew that she had a kind heart and that she would never turn away someone in need. One day, Mackenzie was contacted by a woman named Lisa. Lisa's husband had died of cancer 5 years ago, and she was still grieving his loss. "Can you really talk to the dead?" Lisa asked. "Yes, I can," Mackenzie replied. "Tell me how to contact him." When Lisa and Mackenzie were connected, Lisa's husband appeared before her, and she couldn't believe her ears. "I can't believe I'm actually talking to him," she said. "He sounds just like I remember." After chatting with her husband for a while, Lisa felt a sense of peace she hadn't felt in years. "Thank you," she told Mackenzie. "This means more to me than you'll ever know." Mackenzie smiled. "You're welcome," she said. "It's my gift, and I'm happy to share it with the world." Years went by, and Mackenzie continued helping people by connecting them with their loved ones. She never charged for her services, but many people offered to pay her anyway. She always refused the money, though, saying that she didn't do this for the money. She did it because she wanted to help people. One day, Mackenzie was contacted by a man named Tom. Tom's wife had died suddenly 5 years ago, and he was still grieving her loss. "Do you think I could talk to her?" Tom asked. "Of course," Mackenzie replied. "Just relax and focus on her." When Mackenzie focused on Tom's wife, she could feel her presence. All of a sudden, Tom's wife appeared before him, and he couldn't believe his ears. "Oh my God," he said, "it's really you." After chatting with his wife for a while, Tom felt a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. "Thank you," he told Mackenzie. "This means more to me than you'll ever know." Mackenzie smiled. "You're welcome," she said. "It's my gift, and I'm happy to share it with the world." And so Mackenzie Hall continued her work, helping people say goodbye to their loved ones and find peace. Her gift was truly a blessing to those who were grieving, and she never took it for granted. The end.